Here next to me, my companion, my friend, my partner, Mr. Glenn Greenwich, the Honorable Mayor of Southern Boulevard. Yeah, I'm glad you're back, and we're going to continue the show. We have interesting guests. Glenn, you want to introduce
We
them?
have Soma, who is coming on to, and she's going to let us know a little bit. She's a judicial candidate that is running for office. Soma, welcome to our
Our
world,
world.
Hour of Power.
Yeah.
Good afternoon. It's so good to be here. I'm so happy to
I'm
be
glad
here.
you was able to make it.
It's wonderful.
Yeah.
So tell us what you're actually running for. So give us an idea, because there's so much confusion about judgeships and how do you become a judge, and what's the process. So let's hear from you first, what you're running for, and then let's find out how you got there.
Absolutely. Very good question. So my full name is Soma Syed.
Okay.
I'm in the ballot for November 2nd general election. I won the primary in June 2021. Almost 92,000 Queens voters voted for me.
Yay! Good for
Queens.
you. Awesome.
So it's a very, very important position because Queens is very diverse.
Yes.
And we need representation, diversity, inclusion that truly reflect what Queens looks like in the judiciary system. And I come from, I'm an attorney, practiced law for more than 17 years, and have been doing community work, volunteer work, pro bono legal work my entire legal profession.
Wow.
But aside from my legal profession, I've been doing community volunteer work during my college life, high school. So I'm into the community work. So I'm in the ground. I know what people are going through, what the issues are. And to be a civil court candidate, it can be done two ways. You can be appointed. The mayor can appoint you, or you can run the way I did. Because I truly believe that voters should get to know the judges who are making decisions for them, because these are important decisions.
It's true.
It affects them financially, affects them personally, in some cases professionally, and everything is so interlinked. And people should have a choice. People should know what the process is like. For me, getting information, having people access to information, and then that they're having the opportunity to make decisions for themselves has always been a paramount importance to me.
Sure.
And running as a Democrat in Queens to become a judge through the electoral process, I feel is truly important for our democracy, for our justice system, and mainly for fair and impartial justice. Because you want whoever comes in before your court, you want to make sure they feel comfortable, they are respected, and they feel like this is their court.
Okay.
I think that that's one of the most important things you just said was to have them feel comfortable and have them be gotten, so that they at least know that they're going to get a fair representation.
Exactly.
Because I think that one of the things that when you see someone who is not from your background or your culture, do they really understand fully? And so it's clear that we need the diversity to impact the fairness and even the appearance of fairness in the court system.
Absolutely. It's so people need to feel that they have a stake in the process, that they're part of the process.
Right.
I feel all the rules and regulations, these are for the people.
Right.
And people should not be devoid, or they should not feel it's some abstract process or system. They should feel part of it, know the process, how it's done, how judges become judges.
Yes, I always wondered that. I went to a what do you call it, about 3 years ago, a lady was being sworn in as a judge, and I was so excited to be at the civil court. As a matter of fact, her name was Bugs.
Oh, I
Judge
know her.
Bugs. Yeah,
I know Judge Sherry Bugs.
yeah, Sherry
Yes.
Bugs. Yeah,
She's lovely.
yeah, she's lovely. And I was like, oh wow! And I saw so many women judges, and I was like, oh my God, that's wonderful. It's beautiful, and so many minorities, and that just put a real smile on my face. So I would like to ask you something. If elected, what are your goals?
So my goals are that to make sure people feel represented, number one, that fair and impartial justice is served. People feel comfortable. I also want to ensure that we invest the legal system, the process, about mentorship, about legal seminars, educational, so that the community work that I've been doing doesn't end just because I become a judge. It changes substantially, but it can still be an effective way to go out and let people know what the justice system is like. And you can inspire the next generation of attorneys, judges, and people who want to know the process that really entirely guides our life from A to Z.
Can you tell me one of the first processes that has to be done?
Well, when I get elected on November 2nd, I'll have to go through sworn in. So I have to get sworn in. Okay. Then the Office of Court Administration will place me where they deem their needs are the most.
And that could, and tell us a little bit, because you mentioned it off camera, that it could be family court, it could be a couple of different places. So let us know a little bit about that.
So under the civil division, we have 3 courts. We have the civil court that we have right here on Sutton Boulevard next to the Supreme Court.
Yes.
Then on Jamaica Avenue, we have the family court.
Right.
And then on Queens Boulevard, Kew Gardens, we have the criminal court. So a civil court judge could potentially be placed in any one of those 3 courts.
Okay.
And as you know, the criminal court handles criminal matters. The family court handles family custody, child support, family offense, and negligent petitions. And the civil branch of it, monetary damages up to $25,000 in the civil court. Housing court matters. You have no-fault insurance matters. You have let's say you hire a contractor and the work you feel was not done properly, so you're suing them. The small claims court, the night court where potentially you don't need an attorney to be represented unless it's a company, for max $5,000 claims. So all of these various type of cases fall in the civil division.
Wow. Okay.
Now, I know you're a practicing attorney, so what specific law did you practice?
I've had a very interesting, exciting career because although majority of my practice has been civil, I've done family, I've done criminal, I've worked for the village of Hempstead for almost about 8 years as a special prosecutor attorney. So I've had the privilege of being and doing work on the ground and working in civil matters, contract, commercial and residential real estate, housing matters, landlord, tenant, both sides. I've done litigation. So I've been to family court. I've been pretty much to every court from small claims up to Second Circuit Court of Appeals on matters. So I've had fortunate enough to have the variety of experience and the breadth of experience that I believe a judge needs.
Right.
And so I'm fortunate enough to have all those perspectives as I look forward to with the help of all of you and the Queens voters, be able to sit in that position.
Let me ask you this. So what got you interested in law initially? What was your inspiration to get into law?
You know, when I was 12, I decided I wanted to become an attorney. 12 years old.
Wow.
Yes. And since then, I have pursued every avenue to become one. And I was fortunate enough to have my parents who were very supportive. My father was a magistrate in Bangladesh, so
Okay.
we had some law background. And when we came here as immigrants, he did want to pursue law. He felt that his all the very fluent English speaker, writer, reader, and immensely highly intellectual, he felt his thick accent those years ago would be a hindrance to having a career in law.
Yeah.
So he forewent that route and went to get his MBA, and then he
Okay.
became a CPA. So, but I always thought, watching my mother, who was a trailblazer, when she went to school when most girls were not allowed to go to school. Then she found a few girls' high schools to educate girls and who came, girls in general, also girls from underserved communities, even within the Bangladeshi community. So they were inspiration for me. But more importantly, I saw that law can be used for good.
Yeah.
And I also know that it can be bent to other people's means and ways. But most importantly, it can be used for good, to serve the humanity. And I thought this was my way of serving the humanity. And I went to law school. I went to Albany Law School.
Oh, okay.
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
Okay.
But I came back right after graduation. I came back. I started my private practice, serving working class immigrant communities right here. And I must say, I've been fortunate enough to have clients from all over the world.
Yes.
And with so many languages, so many cultures, it's just been a real pleasure to serve and to be of service. And then becoming a judge is just another avenue, to a vehicle to serve the public, the entire public in a more bigger capacity, in a different role.
Now, I would like to ask you, what advice would you give to any young lady or young woman that would like to enter the field that you're into law? What is some of the advice that you would offer?
First, I would say if you want to go into law, you can. No one should tell you no, that you're not able to. So that's first thing. Any profession you want to go into, if you work hard, you can accomplish it, regardless of where you come from, what your means are. Secondly, you have to work hard. You have to do the work. There's no shortcut.
Right.
I forewent so many gatherings, parties, friends get-togethers, family get-togethers, because the curriculum in law school is very, very tough, and you have to study. Thirdly, I would say just, speak to your professors, speak to your colleagues, students, and gather as much information as possible about what particular area of the law you'd like to go into. Because it's really important to know if you can get that feeling early on, because you can go into government, but the government is separated at so many levels. You can go to White House, you can go to Department of Justice, you can go to the Senate, the House of Congress, you can go to a state governor's office, city council, district attorney. So you can work in different agencies. And then you have private practice, then you have big law firms.
Right.
Medium-sized law firms, insurance companies, banks. So, or you can not even go. I know a couple of my classmates who just went to law school to learn the law, and they used it in their other businesses. So the versatility of a law degree, it's amazing, and it's so wide. But for most, I would say, be passionate. Be passionate. You might get jaded and say, oh my God, I'm not able to do anything. Mm-hmm. Nothing is changing. But you'll be amazed if you keep at it and you keep working at it. You will see the changes one day. Like, you have been able to make a little dent.
Yeah.
So,
One of the things as a professional, a lot of times people say you need mentors along the way. Now, obviously your father mentored you inside of the law, even though he didn't have the experience here, but he understood law and how it works. Who were some of your mentors on the way up?
So, obviously my father was an inspiration. Unfortunately, he passed away before I could start my career.
Oh, sorry to hear that. Okay.
Thank you. But along the way, it's been some of the professors, it's been some of the colleagues I met. And, I had some wonderful college professors who were very inspirational. I went to City College, and there was this program called Urban Legal Studies. And some of the best legal minds taught there.
Okay.
I don't know if you remember Judge Jones from the Court of Appeals.
Oh, yes, yes.
He was my criminal law, even undergrad criminal law professor. So, these were some amazing minds that I had an opportunity to talk and be part of. And along the way in college, and then organizational mentors, like you go into different organization. And one of the biggest things that have influenced me is the Queens County Women's Bar Association.
Oh,
Which
sure.
is right around the corner from here.
Yeah.
Yes. So I'm the immediate past president of the Queens County Women's Bar Association. We have
Excellent.
some amazing attorneys and judges who are just amazing in what they do, their breadth of experience, their civic duty, so they have been such a source of strength. And so I've been fortunate enough.
Let me ask you this, because I know, I went to a very small college, New Hampshire College up, and it's now called Southern New Hampshire.
Oh.
And now, a lot of people are going after the big names, but is the education that much different if you go to a big name? Because isn't law kind of like law, or does the big name get you indoors that maybe the smaller colleges wouldn't? How does that still work like that? Tell us a little something about that.
Unfortunately, it does. Because if you know that you want to go work in one of those big law firms, or if you want to have real good opportunities to, be a White House counsel or go get a job as a clerk for one of the Supreme Court judges.
Oh, yeah.
Those names really help. And usually it's the top 10% of the class of each graduating year
of those big years.
From every law school. And employers do use the ranking system that the U.S. World News and Report issue, and others do use them, unfortunately.
Yeah.
It's not always the best indicator of how you're going to do later on in your career, I must say.
Right.
Because, after you're out of law school, so much of it depends on your own initiative, on your motivation, your ability to cultivate relationships and make progress throughout your career. But the initial inertia does help.
Okay.
And we don't want to discount the reality, because it is the reality. But I went to Albany Law School, but if you want to work in the state, like going to a state law school is great, because there's so many people up in position who have graduated from similar schools.
And connections, because you have connections inside of that state.
Right.
Yeah.
And then later on, it really depends on what you want to do with your career, how you perceive success to mean.
Right.
Because different people have different definition of success.
Well, speaking of that, what does that mean to you, success?
It truly means my ability to stay in touch and grounded. And to serve, because when in my private practice, I set aside about 20 to 30% of my time to do volunteer pro bono community work, because I always done it. I feel it's so important to give back. It's so important to uplift our young generations, to share what you have, even your skills and intelligence. I truly feel it has to be utilized. It has to be shown. If someone else can benefit from what you know, you should share it.
Yes.
I truly feel that. And it's not always necessary, you have to get compensated for that, whether it's monetary, whether it's commendation or anything, as long as you're being beneficial to somebody. So for me, success is being able to do that and being happy doing it.
Yeah. You seem very happy doing it. You do. You really
Thank
do.
you.
Oh man, what's going to happen now? Leading up to November the 2nd. What's on your agenda from now to then?
Well, we have 5 weeks left.
Yeah.
New York City also has early voting that begins
That's right.
October 23rd till October 31st. And if you still haven't registered to vote, you have until October 8th to register to vote and actually get a chance to vote on November 2nd or an early election. So as far as for me, it's just letting everybody know, thank them. Since the primary happened, I've been out thanking everybody, because it's really important to acknowledge their contributions, everyone's contribution, community leaders, voters, other individuals who have helped me. And right now, we're just reaching out, letting them know that there's a final stretch of this journey. It's November 2nd.
Yeah, November 2nd.
Yes.
That's the biggie.
Yes.
It's coming up.
Last day to vote. I'm fortunate enough to get almost 92,000 votes in the primary. I think we can get 200,000 votes on November 2nd.
Awesome.
Yes, because everyone can vote. Democrats, Republicans,
That's true.
independent, conservatives, libertarians, no party affiliation. So really reaching out. And I feel it's my duty, because I've been involved in voter registration drives for a long time. I was heavily involved in the census drives, making sure people Yes.
Yeah.
So it's truly important for people to come out and exercise such a unique ability that we have, a right we have, that we can actually get our voices heard. Even sometimes election has been decided on one vote or a couple of votes.
Sure.
So people have this ability to decide who gets to sit on the judicial benches, who gets to sit in different capacities, that they should come out and vote. And it's such an important election, and they should feel like it's their election. And I truly feel that. So going out to communities, going out to organization, clubs, events. And
So where is the voting being set up this time around? Is it still your college and so?
yes,
Oh, okay.
it'll remain the same.
Oh, everything will be remain the same.
Because we
Okay.
have the mayoral, public advocate, we have controller, borough president, city council, and judges election.
Okay, that's
So
true.
everything will remain the same. We have York College, we're going to have Queens College, Queensboro Hall, we're going to have the aqueduct, racetrack.
Oh, right. Yeah.
We will have different churches I believe maybe YMCA, not this one, maybe in Cross Island.
Oh, the one out in Rockaways, yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
And so same number of early voting centers I believe will remain open, because it's the same number of elections happening. And then on election day, we'll have, almost close to more than 200 polling sites just in Queens.
Okay.
Wow.
So-
Wow. Well, we wish you a lot of luck. No, I'm not going to say luck.
Luck, no.
I'm going to say that given what I've heard today, I'm clear that you have the experience that it takes to be a great judge.
Thank you.
And so I'm hoping that our listeners out there are listening and understand the conversation and understand the importance of having judicial candidates that are reflective of who we are and can consider and include the cultural hardships that are out there that sometimes other cultures can't see. So, again, thank you so much for being here. Anything you'd like to say in closing?
Sure. I want to thank you, Lady Pauline and Glenn. Thank you so much. It's such a pleasure to be here with both of you.
It's a pleasure having you.
If I want to share that, if you want more information about me,
Yes.
you can go to www.soma4ny.com. You can also find me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and you can email me. And if you want to find out where your polling site is, you can go to findmypollsite.nyc, and you can find your polling site and actually get to see the sample ballot. The official ballot is not out, but the sample ballot is out.
Okay.
Okay.
And we hope that your name is on the sample ballot. No.
Yeah, it is. And
Good.
I'm on top. I'm the first one.
Excellent. Excellent.
I like that. I like that. That's exactly where you should be, the first one on top.
Yes,
there.
yes.
Yeah. I like to say you've been listening to our Power Show here on OurWorldMediaNetwork.com. And don't forget to also follow us on WGJSradio.com, our Facebook.com, and Our World Media #1. You've been listening to Lady Pauline and Mr. Glenn Greenwich, the Honorable Mayor.
And don't forget us on Instagram at Our World Media, and subscribe to our YouTube channel, please. Our World Media 1.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you all. Catch you all next week, Saturday. Have a great week. And don't forget to stay safe and wash those hands of yours and your mask. And everything will be okay.
Thank
Take
you.
you.